Okay, welcome to this lesson. It's on building a function. Suppose f is a function that takes the real number x and performs the following three steps in the order that's given. So we want to build a function that does what they're asking in the order given. They were nice enough to tell us what variable they wanted us to use. They want us to use the variable x, and the name of the function is f. So when we label this, our function will be f of x. It's a function of the variable x. Okay, and this is a little different. This is normally when you see an equation that you would graph. This is normally where you would see the y, because y is usually the dependent variable. Okay, so f of x equals, well, the first step they want us to add 4. So we take our x and we add 4. The next thing they want us to do is take the square root. So we would take the square root of the quantity we have there. And the final thing they ask is to make the quantity the denominator of a fraction that has a numerator of 8. So now I'm going to take that. It's in the denominator and the numerator is 8. So I'll write that a little more cleanly. We've done all of the steps they asked. Our answer would look like f of x equals 8 over the square root of x plus 4. We've done everything they asked us to do, and we did it in the order they asked us to do it. So let's try another one with a little different order to it. It's still the function f with our variable x. They just have a different order to these steps. So you'll see it looks a little different. So we start with our f of x is equal to. The first step on this one they want is to do the square root. So we do the square root of our variable x. The next thing they ask us to do is make the quantity we have here the denominator of a fraction with a numerator of 8. So we want it to be in the bottom of a fraction with a numerator of 8. And the final step they ask is for us to add 4. So for that whole quantity, we add 4 to the end. Okay, we did it in the order that they asked. So let's write that a little nicer at the bottom here. We get f of x equals 8 over the square root of x plus 4. And we have one more example here that just switches the order of our steps, just so you can kind of see what it looks like when those steps change. All right, so again, we're given the same instructions. Our function name is f. We are using x as our variable. We start with the first step. So we go ahead and say, well, f of x is equal to, the first step makes the quantity the denominator of a fraction with a numerator of 8, our quantity being x, because that was our variable. Okay, 8's in the numerator, x is in the denominator. The next step is to add 4. So for this quantity, we want to go ahead and go plus 4. And the final step is to take the square root. So of this entire thing, we take the square root. And this is what our answer looks like. This function, f of x, is equal to the square root of the entire quantity, 8 over x, plus 4. And there you have it. We followed the instructions they wanted. We ended up with a function f of x with the variable x.